The real root of the fear, a distorted view of God. The turning point in the parable of the talents is not the burying of the money. It's how the servant viewed the master. Here's the exact moment. Matthew 25:24-25 ESV. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed, so I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. This is not a neutral description. This is a character accusation. The servant believed the master was harsh, the master was unfair, the master was extractive, not generous, and that belief produced fear. Dictator God versus enabler God. This is the heart of what you're saying, and it's dead on. The servant viewed God as a dictator, not a delegator, a taskmaster, not a teacher, a threat, not a provider, someone to survive, not someone to partner with. And when you view God that way, fear becomes logical. Fear says, don't mess this up. Don't take risks. Just give him back what he gave you. Play it safe. But that view of God is false. The master's response exposes the lie. Notice something subtle but powerful. The master does not say, you were right about me. Instead, he responds, you wicked and slothful servant. In other words, your fear didn't come from who I am. It came from who you thought I was. The servant projected a false image onto the master and then lived in alignment with that lie. That's huge. How a false view of God creates modern fear. This is where it hits today. When people view God as impossible to please, quick to punish, disappointed by default, only satisfied with perfection, they don't step out in faith. They freeze, they bury ideas, gifts, capital, callings, not because they hate God, but because they don't trust his character. Fear is not always rebellion. Sometimes fear is bad theology. God as an enabler, not a dictator. Biblically, God is a delegator, occupy until I come, a multiplier, be fruitful and multiply, a rewarder, I reward those who diligently seek me, a father, not a foreman, the master entrusted fortunes before results. That alone proves he is an enabler, not a tyrant. If God were only a dictator, he would micromanage, he would withhold, he would punish risk. Instead, he gives freely, leaves room for action, rewards initiative. Connecting this to fear versus faith, lock this in. Here's the connection you can now say plainly in your teaching. If you see God as harsh, you'll live cautious. If you see God as generous, you'll live courageous. The fearful servant didn't just misunderstand stewardship, he misunderstood God. And misunderstanding God leads to fear-based living.